Thanks for watching Film Buff, really, honestly. It's fucking great.
Oh, hello. How's it going, guys? My name is Im, Film Buff. Alright, man. Moving right on to episode 2 of season 2, series 2. Sorry, I'm used to saying season. I know in the UK it's called series 2. But yeah, I just checked out episode 1. It's one of those rare occasions I get to do like a back-to-back episode. Maybe I'll do a few more of those. I definitely want to check out season 2, series 2, much faster than I did season 1 or series 1. This is going to be an ongoing thing. I'm going to keep calling it series and season, blah. But yeah, before that, I need to thank all the amazing patrons. Thank you for all your amazing support, and thank you for sticking around. And I hope you're enjoying the early access stuff. These 2 episodes are going to probably go up at the same time, so you're going to have access to 2 of these episodes ahead of the YouTube release. And yeah, a reminder to anyone else, if you do enjoy my Doctor Who stuff and just want to check out the episodes a bit earlier than everyone else, head on over to Patreon, check it out, and you'll be supporting me as well. And yeah, maybe if there's enough, maybe there's enough of you. Now, this is not a goal or anything. I totally removed my goal from Patreon. But if perhaps there's enough coming from Doctor Who and from other shows, enough supporters on Patreon, maybe full time is possible, and then I could do this much faster. I can actually get through every single series, all the Doctors, much faster. But that's not really an active goal or anything. I was just kind of throwing it out there. It used to be an active goal, not anymore. Who knows though? Who knows, right? But yeah, in terms of the episode, again, there's really no need to recap because there is no recap. It's kind of like standalone episodes until there are like 2-parters. The first episode had a clear-cut ending and feels like now it's on to something else. So yeah, let's do it. Ooh.
I'm no father.
Back in time.
You're not welcome here, and especially not today. I've got no time to start old arguments.
We want only one thing.
And what would that be?
They're both from Game of Thrones.
This house. The Fist of Man.
The House of the Undying. Okay, look at this.
Father, answer me. What's in there?
May God forgive me.
Scottish accents?
Hold on tight.
Nope. Accidental location?
1979! As you can see, a doctorate from the University of Edinburgh. I trained under Dr. Bell himself.
Let them approach.
I don't think that's wise, Mum.
Rose, might I introduce Her Majesty Queen Victoria, Empress of India and Defender of the Faith.
Rose Tyler, Mum. And my apologies for being so naked.
I've had 5 daughters. It's nothing to me. But you, Doctor, show me these credentials.
We'd better get moving. It's almost nightfall.
Indeed. And there are stories of wolves in these parts. Fanciful tales, intended to scare the children, but good for the blood, I think.
I enjoy these
It's treason.
back in time
And your
type
wife will
episodes.
suffer the consequences.
And how is Lady Isabel?
She's indisposed, I'm afraid. She's gone to Edinburgh for the season. And she's taken the cook with her. The kitchens are barely stocked. I wouldn't blame Your Majesty if you wanted to ride on.
Oh, not at all. I've had quite enough carriage exercise, and this is charming. The Torchwood Estate.
Ooh.
Now, shall we go inside?
Thinks he's funny, but I'm so not amused. What do you think, Mum?
It hardly matters. Shall we proceed?
So close.
Ugh.
Isn't that a bit fanciful? Could easily not be amused or something. No?
This device surveys the infinite work of God. What could be finer? When Albert was told about your local wolf, he was transported.
So what's this wolf then?
It's just a story.
Then tell it.
It's said. Excuse me, sir. Perhaps Her Majesty's party could repair to their rooms.
Could we find some clothes for Miss Tyler? I'm tired of nakedness.
It's not amusing, is it?
Sir Robert, your wife must have left some clothes. See to it. We shall dine at 7 and talk some more of this wolf. After all, there is a full moon tonight.
Ooh.
Not the scares and chills, that's just for children, but the hope of some contact with the great beyond. We all want some message from that place.
But sometimes a child goes missing.
Once in a generation, a boy will vanish from his homestead.
Ah, that's the boy?
Child. Look. Inside your eyes, you've seen it too.
Seen what?
The wolf, there is something of the wolf about you.
I don't know what you mean. Where the hell have you been?
The battle's done. There's no creature on God's earth could survive such an assault.
I'm telling you, come upstairs!
And I'm telling you, sir, I will sleep well tonight with that thing's hide upon my wall.
It's probably best to listen to the doctor.
It must have crawled away to death.
The front door's no good, it's been boarded shut. Pardon me, Your Majesty, you'll have to leg it out of a window.
Leg it out.
I tell you what, though.
What?
Werewolf.
I know. You're right.
Okay, yeah. I tell you what, though, Mum, I bet you're not amused now.
Do you think this funny?
No, I'm sorry.
Should I trust you, sir? You who change your voice so easily? What happened to your accent?
Oh, right, sorry.
I'll not have it. No, sir. Not you. Not that thing. None of it. This is not my world.
And we still don't possess an actual weapon.
Oh, your father got all the brains, didn't he?
Being rude again.
Good, I meant that one. You want weapons? We're in a library. Books! Best weapons in the world. This room's the greatest arsenal we could have. Not the time to worry about your valuables.
Thank you for your opinion. But there is nothing more valuable than this.
Oh, Your Majesty.
Is that the car we know?
Oh, yes. The greatest diamond in the world. That is so.
Look at Rose.
How much is that worth?
They say the wages of the entire planet for a whole week.
Good job my mum's not here. She'd be fighting the wolf off with the bare hands for that thing.
She'd win.
Well, remember me with honor.
Wait till this thing doesn't work.
Doesn't work as a telescope, because that's not what it is. It's a light chamber. Did it bite you?
No, it's a cut, that's all.
If that thing bit you,
It was a splinter of wood when the door came apart. It's nothing.
let me see.
It is nothing. By the power invested in me by the church and the state, I dub
Getting
thee
knighted?
Sir Doctor of TARDIS. By the power invested in me by the church and the state, I dub thee Dame Rose of the Powerless State. You may stand. Then you may think on this also, that I am not amused. Yes. Not remotely amused. And henceforth, I banish you.
I'm sorry?
I have rewarded you, Sir Doctor. And now you're exiled from this empire, but I know that you consort with stars and magic and think it fun. But your world is steeped in terror and blasphemy and death, and I will not allow it. And how much longer you may survive this terrible life.
Ooh.
It's historical record. She was haemophiliac. They used to call it the royal disease. But it's always been a mystery because she didn't inherit it. Her mum didn't have it, her dad didn't have it, it came from nowhere.
What, and you're saying that's a wolf bite?
Well, maybe haemophilia is just a Victorian euphemism.
For werewolf?
Could be.
Queen Victoria's a werewolf?
Could be. And her children have the royal disease.
They're very private. They plan everything in advance. They can schedule themselves around the moon. We'd never know. And they like hunting.
I propose an institute to investigate these strange happenings and to fight them. I would call it Torchwood. And if this doctor should return, then he should beware, because Torchwood will be waiting.
Okay, episode 2. Yeah, this is, this was more like it. I really enjoyed this episode much more than the first episode. I just, right from the beginning of the episode, I really loved the tone of this episode. And also the fact that it was one of those traveling back in time episodes. Those are probably my favorite type of episodes, traveling back in time and then, going to these locations and these historical figures showing up and, their take on said historical figure. And in this case, Queen Victoria. They're really good at doing these period pieces. The production design, the costume design, their take on these historical figures. I think they're really good at this. I've seen it throughout the episodes I've seen so far. They always do a bang up job of putting you in that time era, in that time period. So I just really love the feeling of this episode, the characters. It had this really, eerie tone. It had the possibility of being goofy. It could have been, but it wasn't. I thought it was executed nicely. It was nicely done, man. It really got me in the mood. It was meant to be a creepy episode, and yeah, it got me in that mood of a creepy episode. And right in the beginning, I noticed the two actors I recognized from Game of Thrones, Piat and Sir Roderick. They both appeared in Game of Thrones, and they're English actors, right? So it's a long running series, Doctor Who. It makes sense that a lot of these English actors are gonna show up on this. And the actor Ian, I believe his name is, he just has such a again the two times I've seen him now, the only other time I've seen him is in Game of Thrones, and he's super creepy in that, his whole thing with the House of the Undying, and in this he's just as creepy, man. So yeah, and then the monks, the kung fu monks, that felt a bit out of place. It looked cool. There was a scene of them, pulling off these acrobatic moves, and it looked cool. It definitely looked cool, but it felt a little bit out of place. So I'm not sure. It feels like those monks, they were kind of added just for the cool factor. I don't know. It just felt a little bit out of place, but not a big deal. So even though this episode had like a dark tone, it was meant to be like a bit of a creepy tone. It really highlighted the friendship or the connection the Doctor and Rose have now. Like they've it was kind of like two best friends, off having a good time. They're having a blast. They're giddy with excitement. They're cracking jokes. at inappropriate times, a few times actually. So perhaps a little too much fun going on. So much so that the Queen, kind of calls them out on it, and she sorts them out. Now, she's not having any of this. This is a real situation. This is some dark things are at play here. People have died. So for the Queen to see the Doctor and Rose kind of, cracking jokes, giving each other hugs, and, just being giddy about the surroundings and that they've seen the Queen, they've seen this monster, it annoyed her. She thought it was unacceptable, actually. And the more serious moments kind of happen, as both of them were kind of apart from each other. Rose and Flora reminding me of Gwyneth from The Unquiet Dead. There's like a big sister type connection going on. Rose kind of looking after this girl that's kind of scared right now, and then the Doctor at the dinner table asking the Queen about her husband, and he legitimately cared. Like he wanted to know more about it. So apart from each other, bit more of a serious tone. They can get serious, but like in this episode, together they were having a lot of fun, or they were able to have fun in a situation that really shouldn't allow you to have fun. But again, they're not normal people. They're kind of out of time. This is not their reality. This is one of the first few episodes, probably the first episode, that I've seen the Doctor and Rose almost treat the setting they're in, as kind of a fun thing, almost kind of like it's an amusement ride. And at times, jokes are being made immediately after someone's died. The captain dies, and then right after that, Rose, she tries to get that out of the Queen, and the Queen got really angry at that one. So Rose, bad timing there. In this episode, Rose definitely lacked empathy, compassion compared to all her other, travels. This definitely felt more like a field trip, for her. And even the Doctor, I'm not just picking on Rose, I'm just saying, and I believe that's what designed, because the Queen calls them out on this, and some harsh reality for the Doctor and Rose. Even the Queen, who I thought, it was a fantastic take on the Queen. Now, I don't know anything about Queen Victoria, but the actress playing the Queen did a fantastic job. I thought so. She saw the dangerous and unpredictable lifestyles the Doctor and Rose lead. She didn't like this. She wasn't having it. She knew they are not of this time. And, she reminded them to reflect on how much longer they're gonna stay alive, leading lives like this. So Queen let him have it, man. She did knight him. She knighted them. Sir Doctor of TARDIS. But she also immediately banished them. She said, I'm not having it. I'm not having any of this. But it doesn't really stay serious for too long, because at the end they're back into that jokey mood, right? They're making jokes of the royal family, and it ends off on like a happy note, a jokey tone. Actually, my bad. It doesn't end off in that scene. It then shows me another scene of the Queen. She proposes the idea of bringing together remarkable individuals, right? That are going to investigate the supernatural, right? Because she realized there's a different enemy altogether that she didn't really realize up until now. And once again, they name drop Torchwood. Now, I've heard this a few times now. I know that it is a spin-off. I do like the idea of that, a group coming together and, kind of looking into supernatural things, things that can't be explained, right? Now, in terms of checking out the spin-off, I would love to, of course. Unfortunately, it's only possible if I can go full-time on YouTube, because, it takes me long enough just to do Doctor Who episodes, right? So if I add that in, everything's going to get delayed. But unfortunately, the only chance I have of doing that is if I can go full-time through Patreon, and then focus on just the YouTube stuff, and, pump out more Doctor Who episodes on the regular, and also bring in the spin-off at the same time. The Empire of the Wolf, that was dropped a few times, right? And the guy who can turn noticed something about Rose. He said something, he senses something of the wolf in her. I believe he said something like, you took in the sun, but I need the moon. And then once again, that they made a joke about the Empire of the Wolf and the royal family at the end there. So I thought it was a cool little connection, you know, from Rose and this man who can turn. That's probably in my top 5 of all the episodes I've seen so far. Yeah, I really enjoyed that episode. You know, for the first time I saw this historical figure that is annoyed, or just this person that isn't just on their side and, you know, just happy. The queen was quite annoyed at the behavior, you know, so much so that she banished them. She told them not to come back here. So that was kind of, you know, it was refreshing to see that, actually, you know, that not everyone is going to be crazy about the Doctor and Rose. But yeah, there it is. Great episode. Really liked it. I definitely liked it much more than episode 1. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, please smash that thumbs up. Leave your comments. Let me know what you guys thought. If you're into social media, hit me up. All the links are in the description. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Huge thank you to all the amazing patrons. I hope you're enjoying the early access stuff. Thank you so much for sticking around. And a reminder to anyone else, if you like my Doctor Who stuff, check out Patreon. You can get early access to the next episode, sometimes the next 2 episodes. And yeah, in doing so, you can support me, and who knows? It's not an active goal at the moment, but who knows? Maybe I can go full-time if I have enough people jump on over to Patreon. And you know, that's going to allow me to pump these out much faster. I can actually get through the whole series, you know, and get caught up to the most recent season in no time. Now that'd be fantastic, right? But it's a long shot, of course. All depends on Patreon. Again, it's not an active goal or anything. I'm just, you know, saying that's the only potential chance I have to actually be caught up in like a year. Perhaps I think I could probably do it in a year, all of them, because, you know, I would be doing multiple episodes, you know, episodes like every 2-3 days. That's, you know, that type of thing, if I was to go full time. And then of course, you know, the spin-offs and all that. But yeah, man, thanks for checking this out. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna move on to the next episode. I'm actually gonna try to do again like a back-to-back thing, you know, episodes 3 and 4. So yeah, you know, thanks for checking this out. Take it easy.